Today I'm going to give you a preview of our October issue of Compass. The global commodities trade is something we like to talk about here at Stratfor, and when you talk about commodities, you pretty much have to talk about China, which consumes vast amounts of raw materials, especially steel. Now, interestingly, demand for steel dropped in 2014, thanks in part to slowed economic growth, and many now wonder whether demand has peaked or if there is still room for demand to grow. The truth is somewhere in the middle. Demand will fall for the next few years as China solves some of its economic problems, but it will probably rise again as the country builds more consumer goods that can be purchased at home. Turning to Europe. Switzerland is not a country you ordinarily associate with economic difficulty, but being so wealthy apparently has its drawbacks. The global financial crisis flooded Switzerland with capital in need of refuge, but injecting that much money into an economy as small as Switzerland's put upward pressure on the Swiss franc. And to relieve that pressure, Switzerland pegged its currency to the euro, but it had to abandon that strategy after the EU enacted quantitative easing. As a result, the franc immediately appreciated. And the problem is, an overvalued currency could hurt Swiss exports and drive down prices in the economy. Switzerland is still one of the richest countries in the world. It just won't be experiencing the kind of economic growth seen elsewhere in Europe. In Canada, parliamentary elections could bring to power a new government that may not be so friendly to the country's bustling oil and natural gas industry. Earlier this year, the center-left National Democratic Party won provincial elections in Alberta, Canada's most industrious energy-producing province, and imposed stricter taxes on energy companies operating there. The energy industry is concerned that the same might happen at the national level, particularly as the Canadian economy deals with its recession. And finally, we look at Russian defense exports. Russia has grand plans to modernize its military, but that sort of thing costs a lot of money that Russia doesn't really have right now. Now, ideally, Moscow would turn to India, its most loyal defense customer, to participate in joint ventures to defray the costs of modernization. But India isn't really all that interested in long-term projects at the moment. New Delhi will continue to buy Russian defense exports, but only those that serve more immediate purposes. For these and other stories, check out our October issue of Compass, which publishes on the 5th.